ownership of where you're at in health is a very, very important aspect of actually getting healthy. And what I mean by this, let's start. So I just got back from a trip with my wife. We went to celebrate our anniversary, and we were walking along, and I don't remember what we were even talking about, but the conversation kind of moved to people go to the gym, and there's a lot of people that get intimidated by it. And they shouldn't be intimidated by it. But what you see is they look at the people who are further along in their journey. They're either a little more healthy, they've lost a little more weight, they've gained a little bit more muscle, or whatever else, whatever the other situation is, they look at it and they're like, I'm not as far along in my journey, I don't belong here. But when you break things down and you start getting to know the people at the gym, they're all cheering for you, right? I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but after working in multiple gyms, every single time, that's what happens. Like people look at them and they get intimidated by it, but once they get to know them, they figure out that the other people that are in the gym are actually cheering for them because they're all on the same journey. They're all looking to improve their health. And it reminds me a lot of overall health. It's not just fitness. This is, somebody who's trying to recover from autoimmunity, or somebody who's had a really, really stressful period in their life. They've gotten burned out and they're trying to recover from that, or whatever else. It's all the same. What health really looks like, everybody wants health to look like passive investing. When you look at passive investing, all the gurus say, go out and buy something and then it will give you returns for your life, right? So if you buy a bunch of rental houses, you won't have to do any work and you just collect a check. But if you talk to anybody who owns rental houses, they either have to do a ton of work. They have to go out and plunge the toilets at 2 a.m, or they have to, set up the cleaning crews to go out there, or they have to completely remodel the house after somebody destroys it, or they have a team that does that for them. So it's not that there's no work, it's that the other people don't see the work. And a lot of people are advertising that you can do this because they're trying to make money off of it, right? And you see the same thing in health. You see, the commercials where somebody's, all jacked up and ready to go, all right, accomplish this in 4.5 minutes. It's not realistic. It's not going to happen. The only people that are gaining out of that are the people that are trying to sell you that. You have to have ownership of your health. And that's where people that are further along the journey are. They put in the work. So if you're looking at say, active investing versus passive investing, those people that are actively investing are up there. They're putting in the time. They're putting in the work. They're learning about themselves. They're learning about what works for them. They're learning about what doesn't work for them. And they're putting together a package that's taken them along this journey to this stage that they're currently at. Whereas you look at these people who want to passively invest, right? So they buy this supplement, or they take this pill or whatever, and it gets them there. But what happens when they stop taking it? It's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. And so what they see is they see that, they get some results and then it goes back to where it was. They get some results or it's worse than it was, or they don't get any results and they get frustrated and they quit. That doesn't work. But that's not realistic, right? It's like the lottery winner that wins the lottery and then they blow all the money. They don't have the skills that they need to keep that money. Right? When you see people who are wealthy, they've developed all those skills over the course of their lives. They've developed the skills of getting money, keeping money, earning money off of their money. All of these different skills that are needed to amass some wealth. But those people who win the lottery and they don't have those skills in place, they end up losing it all. They either make bad investments, or they spend it all on things that don't matter, or whatever else it may be. Same thing happens in our health. And another way to look at this, if you want a different analogy for this, if you're sitting at home and you're watching your favorite team on TV, you can scream as loud as you want to for them to do better. Does it change the way that they play? They can't hear you. You're not on the field. You don't have that ability to actually interact and change the energy of the game. So you're sitting there and you're putting all this effort into it and it's not going anywhere. That's the difference between the two. When you're actively investing in your health, when you're taking the actions that you need to actually develop those skills, and when you start developing those skills and you start stacking those skills, that's where you start to see progress. that's where you start to take that next step forward. And that's where your health really starts to change for the long term. And like I said, I don't remember what we were talking about on this walk, and it was ultimately coming down to the intimidation that people feel. People feel intimidated because they don't have the skills. But when you actually look at it, a lot of other people are going to start cheering for you once you start putting in that work, start putting in that effort. And after you start putting in that work, the results show. But you've got to start putting in that work. And everybody else out there is going to cheer for you. There's going to be people that aren't going to, right? There's always people that don't want you to change. When you get out of college, you're going to have those friends that don't want to grow up, and they don't want you to change. They're going to give you grief for that, and that's okay. That's just a part of it, and that's what you have to separate from. Those people that don't want you to better yourself, the people that don't want you to better your health, they're not going to be your long-term benefit anyway, right? And sometimes it's hard to tell them that, and it doesn't mean you have to completely end the relationship. It just means, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this. This is my goal. This is what I want to accomplish, and this is how I'm going to do it. And that's okay. And if it doesn't work out for you, they're going to be right there to tell you that it didn't work out for you. And you know what? You step up to the plate and you take another swing. And that's how you stack those skills, though. You've got to have that ability to look at it. Is there going to be frustration in that journey? Absolutely. There is absolutely no question that there is going to be some sort of difficulty in that. You're not going to see the results that you want, or you're not going to see them fast enough, or you're going to be able to sustain something for a little while, and then life's going to happen, and you're going to get off of that. But when you finally get those skills that you need to move yourself to that next level, that's where success is. Because you could take those skills and you can re-implement them. You can mix and match. You can add other skills that are going to help stacking you, help you climb that ladder to where you really want to go. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking, it's just not worth it for me, that's a scary place to be. Figure out why you want to make the change. Because if you know exactly why you want to make the change is easy. You set your mind to it and you do it. But you have to have that why. If you don't have that why, it's going to be a very, very difficult journey for you. Find some people to support you. If you can find a couple of people to support you, they're going to help you along the way. In those difficult times, you need somebody to turn to and say, hey, you know what? I'm struggling right now. Do I keep going? Do I change my approach? Do I quit? What do I do? They're going to be the ones that are there to help you take that next step. So find a family member, a friend, somebody who's going to help you stay accountable. And once you have your why, once you have your accountability, it's just a matter of putting in the duration. If some people may need a guide along there, not everybody's going to need a guide. When we're talking about severe health issues, you're probably going to need a guide. And that's ultimately what we provide in our office. We help guide our patients through this. Here are the pitfalls. Here's what you need to do. Here are the steps. And it's putting enough effort to get there. But if you're looking for the magic pill, if you're looking for the magic cure, if you're looking for a snap your fingers and be exactly where you want to be, it doesn't work that way. If it does work that way, it's something that's going to be very, very reversible. Like I said, fad diets are a good example. Medications, if you stop taking your medications, does it continue to work? Doesn't, in most cases. There's certain things that will, like antibiotics or whatever, might make the change. If you look at long-term medications, do they help you make the change? Absolutely. Are there side effects to them? Absolutely. It's everything in health has its consequences. You have to choose your way. Are you going to start stacking skills and change yourself to become the person that you want to be? Or are you gonna take the way that you just snap your fingers and it's there? If you look at it like active investing versus passive investing, very, very good way to look at this. It's a different form of getting the same thing. Can somebody actually make a passive investment that works out well? They can, but it's very, very difficult to do. In most cases, you have to have those skills in place for that long-term change either way. So I love you. I appreciate you. If you like this, if this is something that is helping you out, please like or subscribe. It really gives me a lot of information about what is giving you the most benefit. And when I know what's giving you the most benefit, I can share more of that stuff. So again, I appreciate you, and I will catch you on the next video.